Hey YouTube, got an idea for a video. It's about modern medicine. You know, what made me start thinking about this was I read an article the other day explaining how a lot of doctors actually just want to die in peace. They don't want to be affixed to machines helping them breathe, or, you know, transferring their blood, or, you know, they don't want to be kept alive like in a hospital environment. You know, most of them, having seen the way things work, would opt to rather just die in peace, to enjoy the last few months of their life with their family, and just die naturally, you know, like as God intended, when God intended, not to, you know, try through modern science to stay alive, you know, with probably a lower quality of life, you know, to receive chemotherapy, you know, things that a lot of times there's a very small chance that you'll survive anyways, and even if you do, there's going to be adverse effects. They're involved in that industry, kind of like, you know, a mechanic might be involved. He's involved in mechanics, right? He knows more about the inner workings of things, and, you know, he might opt to not spend, you know, he might not want to change the motor on his car. He realizes, hey, you know, I've reached the point of diminishing returns, and it's just time to get a new car, you know, whereas he might try and sell that treatment, sell that procedure to you, right? He'll tell you like, oh yeah, you know, get a new engine. He's obviously financially benefiting from that, kind of like doctors. They're financially benefiting through the insurance and Medicare and system through giving treatments that a lot of times are unnecessary and don't really improve your quality of life. You know, and you might not believe that, but, you know, people just don't have your best intentions at heart. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is there really any benefit from modern medicine? I mean, I know if you have a life-threatening disease, and if I did, I would want the best medical treatment. I'm not saying that. I realize that, you know. But in general, I mean, is keeping people alive that have diabetes, that have genetic defects, I mean, isn't that diminishing the strength of humans? I mean, you know, letting the, you know, people that have diseases where you should die. I mean, you know, a dog, if it has a genetic defect, most of the time they say that we shouldn't let it breed, right? I mean, why is it different with humans? I know it sounds really cruel, and like I said, I mean, if I had something like that, I'd want to stay alive. But in general, has modern medicine really helped us out as humans, and even as modern science at all helped us? I mean, is the net benefit, you know, outweigh the net negative? You know, like, look at nuclear energy. Has that helped us? I mean, does it not scare you to be in a world where there, you know, there's hundreds and hundreds of nuclear reactors, you know, and even in California, there's 2 that are built in a fault line? Does that make any sense at all? You know, and I think we need to have power for the next 70 years just to dismantle the nuclear energy that we have, because if you realize the spent fuel rods, we need to continuously cool them, like, indefinitely for thousands of years. Does that make any sense logically? I mean, the position that we put ourselves in, what if there's an EMP strike? What if there's a huge earthquake? I mean, it's really crazy, really, when you think about it, that we want to live like that, you know? I mean, we're surrounded by pollution. I mean, there's a lot of net negatives to science, right? I mean, really, if you look at it, science is enslaving us. The more and more technology that we get, the less freedom that we have, you know. And I know a lot of people are doing their videos about freedom on the internet, and if you really look at it, if you study the progression of science and our loss of freedom, I mean, it's a negative correlation. And especially once the television started coming out, I'd say that was like the biggest time that our quality of life started to descend, you know. And I guess you could call me a Luddite or a neo-Luddite. And if you don't know, the Luddites were those people that they were rebelling against the machines, the looming machines, saying that they are taking away their jobs. And really, if you look at it, the concentration of wealth and power within the world has happened with the machines, you know. The productive capability has been taken away from humans. You know, and as science increases, you need more and more control. You know, you need more and more specialization. You need more and more scientists. And people just can't live free. You can't have small communities. Everything has to be homogenized. and communities have to be ordered and homogenous, and it's like living in the Matrix. And eventually, you know, with biotechnology, with increased surveillance, we're just losing more and more freedom. You know, and I know originally they sold us as science was going to give us freedom. You know, and I'm not saying I have all the answers. I know there's a lot of faults to that argument. You know, science has helped us out in a lot of ways, and I'd be curious to start a discussion about that. But I really do see that our quality of life has descended with science and with medicine in general. And I know it sounds really radical, and, you know, it could sound cruel at times too, but we might have been better off without it at all, just living more primitive. You know, if I got a lot of ideas on that. This is just kind of like the start of that. I've been taking a lot of notes, reading a lot of things. So I don't know. Just let me know what you think. Thanks.